Yeah, those are great questions. It's definitely a tough time in education and being a teacher and really motivating students to come to school. Well, we at Sphero, we focus on hands-on learning. We find that students are spending a ton of time behind a screen and not really interacting with their peers. And those skills are starting to get lost. And, we see that not only in the classroom, but also in the workforce from a day-to-day, environment. So what we do at Sphero is really focus on solutions, kindergarten through 12th grade, and hands-on. Everything we make, students have to collaborate and get hands-on with our products. One thing that we've really been focusing on lately is with our latest product, Blueprint, and it's teaching those career-ready skills. So it's not sitting behind a computer, it's actually getting hands-on and learning engineering design, critical thinking skills, and that collaboration. Especially with AI, we're seeing, coding is becoming easier, right? It can do it for you. But one thing we teach is AI sense, starting to really understand what does the AI give you? Does it make sense? Does it work? So we're building tools with our robots right now to make sure that students understand that that program actually works. And you can see that even more with our hands-on solutions, such as a robot like Bolt Plus. You know what? I think the number one success we're seeing is excitement to go to school, right? So when you can probably see some of our videos online, specifically something like ISTE, you see the students getting together, collaborating, and then celebrating. They come out of that and say, you know what? We used Sphero today and it was the best day at school.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it's fun.
My name is Adam Lee, Vice President of Sales here at LineWise. And at LineWise, we're incredibly excited to sort of unveil here at ISTE one of our newest products, and that's called EdTech Insights. What we've found over the years and during hundreds and even thousands of conversations with IT leaders and curriculum leaders and EdTech leaders across the nation is it's really hard to get a handle around all the different applications that are being used in a district. It's even harder to understand, to be able to prove with data that these applications are delivering the right results. Return on learning, are they hitting those return on investment boxes? But then taking a step back and putting our cybersecurity hat on, are these applications safe and are they handling our data in the right way? And we're able to answer all these questions and more with our EdTech Insights product that, again, is part of the LineWise ecosystem. We started out in filtering, and we're one of the only filters out there that still offers a hybrid filter, meaning we have an appliance that's used when it makes sense, cloud when it makes sense. Our classroom management tool integrates with the filter, and it's all about breaking down silos. It's about giving teachers more autonomy in the classroom. In fact, we don't like the name classroom management. We like it more we think of it as more as classroom enablement, right? Just-in-time learning, great control for teachers. And then, of course, it's all about, again, getting more people around that child digitally. That includes your parents, as well as safety teams, right? So when a child is at risk, we want to identify more of those digital issues before they become real life events here at LineWise.
Absolutely. It's a really great question. It is top of mind of all of our current customers, our prospective customers. And I would say the biggest thing that Smart Technologies is doing is we're really making sure we're listening to our customers and what their needs are. So for example, when we go to work with a customer, we don't want to just worry about their smart boards or their software. We want to look at their whole ecosystem that they have, because all of those are investments that they've already made. So whether it's curriculum textbooks, curriculum resources, Chromebooks, iPads, any of those things that are in the school ecosystem, we really take it seriously that if our products are going in there, that we need to make sure that ecosystem works together. So we don't just look at it as just our product. We really want to look at the whole classroom, because it's the whole classroom where the learning happens. And at Smart, we always start with the learning and pedagogy first, right? So no matter what our product is, whether it's our software, our new GX board, that is an entry-level board to be very competitive right now with the budgets that our budget struggles are very real right now. And so we want to make sure that we have powerful products at different price points that can meet the teacher's needs for the learning that they need to have and the instruction they want to see happening, not just what's been happening, but the innovations they want to keep making. So it's really a partnership. We partner with them. We don't just sell boards into them. We work closely with them, identify goals. The other really big challenges we're seeing is how the professional development piece comes into this. Teachers' resources that is most limited, besides money, is time. It is time, and a million things are on their plate. So we don't want to be one more thing ever for a teacher. Our goal is to make sure the products are solving problems for them, making it easier. That also means having PD that helps align that right off the bat. So when you see any of our training resources, whether it's in product or in our academy that are all accessible at no charge for our customers, you'll notice it's not how to use your smartboard or how to use Lumio. It's how to have active learning and collaboration with a smartboard, how to have formative assessment with our software. So we start with the learning because that's what matters and that's what teachers are trying to do. And then that's just our philosophy, no matter what it is that we're doing. And teachers are part of our design process. So we do make sure we're keeping tabs on what that is, what it is that they need and want. And don't just look at the one solution we're providing. We look at how that impacts the rest of their ecosystem. The Chromebooks they bought during COVID, whatever it is, it's all part of something we're coming into. And so we don't look at it in isolation.
Hey, I'm here with So Great, super excited.
I'm Maria Anderson. I'm the CEO of SoCrate and a classroom teacher.
And I'm Jason Palmer. I'm the co-founder of SoCrate and a longtime investor in ed tech companies that change the world.
All right, so we've been talking about what's happening in the market. So dish it out. What did you guys do? What is going on?
Well, most of the ed tech companies here at ISTE help teachers before class or after class, but they rely on teachers to do all the work first.
Yeah.
We listen while a teacher is teaching their class, grab the data right out of their voice, and do as much work as we can for them based on what they already did during the day.
Awesome. Unburdening the teacher.
Correct. Would you like some examples?
Definitely necessary, definitely. Yeah, roll it. What is the example?
So, for example, a teacher spends most of the day praising and warning students, calling on students. That's all happening out loud. So when I say, Leilani, please get back to work, put away your phone, that's a warning, right? Our system tracks that as a warning to Leilani with that context. So at the end of class, a teacher gets a list of the praises and warnings they gave. We know that teachers need to praise students more than they warn students, 3-to-1, 4-to-1, 5-to-1. It depends on the school district.
Yeah.
But teachers can't keep track of all the data. They also need to keep track of who they called on and who they didn't call on in class. Teachers' heads are constantly counting data all day long. They're not focused on, as much as they should be, on relationships with students, seeing what's actually going on in the classroom. They're counting all day long.
Yeah.
It leads to cognitive exhaustion, overload, unhappy teaching days. We want that to stop. At the end of the day, we can write a praise email to a parent, letting them know how great their kid did. We can write a warning email about behavior. We can let special ed know what happened with some of their students that day. It's all in the data.
So this is true agentic AI
Yes,
off of
teacher voice.
where's the system coming from?
So it's off of teacher voice.
Voice alone.
Yes.
Voice alone.
Yes.
So that it has an interior agentic interface of email. Obviously, it's a notification system. It's also a summarizing system, so it's working in sort of a document capacity.
Correct?
Is it clustering documents? How is it doing all the thinking?
So right now what we do is we process the voice live and we grab the data out of it we need. So we create a structured database of warnings and praises. We look for very specific things to put into a classroom summary.
Okay.
The very first thing we look for is, did you change any assignments? Did you give nuance about any assignments? Did you do a new assignment in class today? Because those are the things when students are absent, that's what they want to know. When a student says to a teacher, did anything important happen in class today?
Yeah.
The kid wants to know, did assignments change, right?
Yeah,
so that's what goes at the top of the classroom summary, right? So we try to do things to make teachers, all they have to do is press a button, copy it over to something. It's their choice to take an action, but we have the actions they're ready for them to
So
take.
it's a platform. Is it also a mobile app?
Yeah, so there's a mobile app for you to use to collect your voice data.
This is awesome. Okay, good. So, anything from you?
Absolutely. So Maria represents the teacher voice because she is a teacher. This was a product that's invented by teachers for teachers. But the main problem we're trying to solve at the school or district level is teacher retention. Teachers are getting burned out. And this is a product that principals or superintendents can buy that actually will enable all your teachers to have a class assistant. So think about the fact that there's big budget cuts going on right now. You got to figure out how to make your school live with less staff. You may not be able to afford all those paraprofessionals, but couldn't you give all of your teachers an AI assistant who's doing their attendance for them, who's doing those behavior emails for them, who's keeping track of all the praises and warnings? When we show this to middle school principals, especially, they're like, sign me up right now. My teachers need this kind of help. And so the biggest thing is that this is going to solve teacher retention in the long run.
Yeah, yeah, you absolutely have to have that because they
Yeah.
can't get them, right? Like there's literally all these empty classrooms all over America. They're going to lose another 6% by the end of this year.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's an ugly
Well, with all,
situation. This is huge.
yeah, well, especially a lot of the people that are interested in us are actually alternative schools, micro schools, so organizations that are kind of changing the face of schooling. You just want to be teaching students and not have to think about all the data that's going on. But if you praise students, teachers are narrators. They narrate what's going on in front of them. They narrate the progress that students are making. And this is something that just captures that data and lets you look at it afterwards and say, what did happen today? I was so busy running around teaching everybody. And you sit down and you realize.
Absolutely, when you can't even remember what you had for breakfast. How are you supposed to plan for the next day?
Well, especially if you have like
awesome.
150, 200 students, it's a lot to remember.
Yeah, you're carrying a lot.
Yeah.
And one of my favorite things that we've heard from teachers is that they finally see all the kids they praised during the day.
Yeah.
As a teacher, you tend to remember whatever was the most painful part of your day. You're going through like 1,500 data points a day. So at the end of the day, you remember the kid you're the maddest at, but you don't remember anybody you praised.
Yeah.
So seeing that, like in the data, like at the end of your classes,
Yeah.
maybe we'll be like, I praised a bunch of students. I could send those emails to parents and tell parents how great those kids did.
Right.
It's not that we don't want to, we just honestly can't remember.
Right.
And you wouldn't be able to either if you had to process this much data a day.
Yeah, you wouldn't. No, it's not a human job anymore. I've been saying that for like 5 years. This is not a human job. I don't know who's doing it and winning and not like crying every night in the corner.
Well, millions of
Not a human
teachers
job.
are doing it. It's
But
hard.
they are leaving.
Cognitive overload.
Yeah.
Super hard not to.
Yeah.
Okay, how did you guys know each other and how did you start this company and all that jazz?
Well, I first met Maria about 10 years ago. I went to a South by Southwest conference, and there was this one session where there were like people coming out of the room, like trying to cram their necks to see what was going on. It's Maria. She's like running around on stage teaching people how to build their first MOOC. She's been an innovator in EdTech for 15 years. Some of the first MOOCs, Maria. Working with Western Governors University to pull together more than 100 EdTech systems into one unified interface, Maria. Already started one company and sold it successfully, Maria. Besides that, she's also an award-winning K-12 teacher and college professor. How do you do all that at the same time?
Blushing? Are you not blushing? What is happening?
She's like, what's he going to say next? I don't know.
And then she pulls a rabbit out of the hat. It's super awesome.
You called me and you were like, I think I got another idea.
Yeah,
and now
that's
you
true.
gotta give
That is
your
true.
opinion, your opinion of Jason
Yeah.
at the beginning. This weird guy came to my session.
So we actually met later that day at an EdTech entrepreneur session, and we talked a bunch about like starting your own company, and we've stayed in contact ever since. So every once in a while we would touch base, see what each other's doing, and at some point I decided to start a company called CourseTune, and Jason was an investor in that company, and ultimately I ran that company for 5 years, and we sold it successful,y and Jason helped with that too. But Jason has invested in like how many companies?
35 EdTech
35
companies.
EdTech
Yeah.
companies. And how many successful exits?
We've had 16 successful exits, and there are about another 16 that are doing quite well as independent companies. Eventually, they'll reach
So
that finish
that's like
line.
an extremely
Yeah.
good track record. So when
Yeah.
I came up with the idea for So Crate, I texted Jason and I said, I have this idea, and it's either like the most brilliant idea I've had, or it's like crazy and stupid. But I don't know which one it is. And you have to tell me which one, but I'll wait till after the election and you can tell me then. So
I said crazy and brilliant, which wasn't one of the options. But
So here you are. Okay, so this particular product then is new,
yes.
very new.
but it's leaning on some technologies that have already been around the AI. It's just adding agentry,
Yes.
which is called agentic AI. So this
Yeah.
is a really big new step on the moon, so to speak.
It is.
You know,
Yeah.
that goes with AI. So I'm going to make sure all my readers know about it. This is awesome. Thank you guys.
Yeah,
Thank you.
awesome.